about the 22nd too, Shelly.
So the 22nd, we're going to do a live show. It's going to be our Christmas show. And in the spirit of Christmas, we're going to do a giveaway. So this right here is a VacMaster knife roll. I think I almost turned that the wrong way. That would have been bad. So what comes with this? Check this out, guys. It has all of these knives, and then down here you've got, isn't that a honing stick or something like that? Is that what that's called?
It's a knife steel is what I always call it.
But you have all of these knives in here. There's different sizes. And they're all the VacMaster knives that we love and use all the time. Comes in this roll case. So we don't know what the rules are. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Homestead HQ, where we talk about homesteading and preparedness. I am Shelly.
And I'm still Jason so far. You got the intro right. I'm proud of you. We did it on one take.
Whoop, whoop.
All right. Hey, guys, we've kind of got a good episode. We're going to talk about drones tonight and all the craziness going on with the drones.
Yep.
If the drones were in the South, they would already know what they were, because somebody would have shot that thing down and gone in his old Chevrolet truck and thrown it in the back to scrap it, probably.
Yep, so, that's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah, but hey, guys, first, VacMasterFresh.com. They're one of the people that make this possible for us to do this. Go check it out. It's VacMasterFresh.com. Use the code Homestead. You'll save 15% off your order. Shelly, what's the sale that they've got going on now?
So right now, everything site-wide is on sale. If you spend $600, you can get 10% off. If you spend $800, you can get 15% off. If you spend $1,000, you can get 20% off. And our Homestead code of 15% off stacks on top of that. So if you order a chamber sealer or, just a bunch of bags, whatever, you're going to get that discount on top of that.
So, guys, go over there, check those guys out, give them some love. Shelly's got a chamber sealer. I've got a chamber sealer, and we use the things. Well, Shelly, tell them, we were talking before, and you said Randy used the thing. What did Randy use it?
Randy actually used it tonight. I told him that I wanted some cube steaks for supper, and he got some marinade and put it on the cube steak and stuck them in the chamber sealer. And, normally when you use a marinade on something, you need to let it marinate for a few hours or overnight or something. And, but he stuck it in the chamber sealer. And so when it vacuums, it forces all of that marinade into the meat, and it only had to marinate for like 30 minutes. And then he opened it back up and fixed it, and it was delicious. So we like our chamber sealer.
It's just not for preserving stuff. It's for marinating.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you, the best steaks I've ever cooked in my life were, there used to be Hops in Bowling Green. Do you remember that restaurant?
Yep.
The little microbrewery. They did it was a Jamaican, I think it's a Jamaican top sirloin. They would do pineapple juice, soy sauce, and ginger. And they said they would marinate those for like 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
They were amazing. So I was like, I'm going to try that. So I did it with a ribeye. I marinated those things for 4 days in the refrigerator. I pulled them out, and they were black as a car tire. I mean, just black, where all that juice had soaked in there. I cooked those things. They were so tender and had flavor all the way through. I was like, this is amazing.
So what was it again?
It's
ginger?
Pineapple juice, soy sauce, and ginger.
Huh. That sounds pretty good.
Oh, but it will. They look kind of gross. They're black as a car tire when you pull them out if you let them set for 4 days. But I was like, man, these things are amazing.
I bet you wouldn't have to let them set near that long if you would have used
chamber
the
them up. Well, I didn't have a VacMaster when Hops was open. Lord,
right. I
used
to love that place. That place was good.
Oh, we went there all the time. So, but all right, and then another place, go check out Signature Solar. It's signaturesolar.com. Use the code Homestead. That's going to save you some money on your order. And it's funny talking about that. I talked about that on the live we did the other night with Spags, Nicole, and Patrick. The Christmas present for my wife came in yesterday. So I have not, we probably won't have a video for that until after Christmas, because she would be pissed if I opened it and played with it and then put it back in the box and then gave it to her. So
her Christmas present.
Yeah. And then the funny thing is she has no idea what she's getting, because it, quote, came freight. Because I told her, I'm like, FedEx Freight is going to be swinging by in a semi to drop this thing off. And she's like, what in the hell did you buy me that came freight? And she was like, and I was over at her mom's house working, and I said, Whitney's cooler came in. And she goes, yeah. She said something about that. She said, I don't know what in the world Jason bought me that came FedEx Freight on a pallet.
When she sees it, she's going to be like, why the hell did they ship that FedEx Freight on a pallet?
Yeah. Well, the dude at FedEx told me, he said the pallet weighs as much as a cooler. So I'm like, yeah, I know, whatever. So, but guys, there'll be a video coming out with the cooler that I got from Signature Solar. Go check those guys out. Use the code Homestead, and you'll save you some money on that. So, Shelly, what have you been up to? I know you're going to do fence tomorrow, because you told me we couldn't do anything because you're putting fence up.
Well, I'm not putting fence up. I've got to go. I bought some of these. They look like rebar candy canes. They're like 16 inches long, and they've got like hooks on the end of them.
Yeah.
People normally use them to like secure their trampolines and stuff like that. But I bought a bunch of them because there's some places in our fence, our perimeter fence that we just had put up. There's some places where, because our ground is just all uneven. So there's places where the bottom of the fence and the ground, there's like a little gap. And I don't want the sheep getting out, but I don't want my dog digging out of it either. So I'm going to use those rebar things and kind of hook them at the bottom of the fence and pound them in the ground and you know, so I don't have all those open places. So we're going to ride around and do that tomorrow. And then, I don't know, hopefully get the sheep turned out this weekend.
That would be nice.
It would be nice.
If I still
I found a what do they call them? Bucklings. I found a buck.
You mean a ram?
A ram, yeah. They're not bucklings, are they?
Well,
they're goats. Goats are bucklings, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I found a ram. It's my friend that I work with. He has Katahdin sheep too, and one of his sheep just had a little boy. He's all black. He's cute as can be.
So you gonna pick him up?
When he's weaned.
All right.
But he came by today and gave me a price, and I was like, okay, I can do that. So hopefully in the next, I don't know, how long does it take to wean them? Is it like 12 weeks or 8 weeks or 6 weeks or what?
I wouldn't do it before about 3 months, probably.
Okay.
Three months, something like that. I usually because I'm not in a hurry to sell mine, so I usually let the moms wean them off and themselves, because mom will finally get pissed off and she just starts kicking them every time they come to nurse.
Yeah.
I'm just like, they know the best, so when they start kicking them away and saying the hell with you, it's whatever, nature does that for me. But yeah, I wouldn't do it before about 3 months, probably, at least.
Yeah. I figure sometime early spring we'll get him.
Well, I haven't done much at my place. We've been busy with all the fine stuff of our social media and business and all that kind of stuff. That's been eating away at a lot of my time. So, but we've got, and I'll tell you this now, we have got a date set for our pig processing class. Our first pig processing class we're going to offer is January 25th, right, Shelly?
Yep.
January 25th, we're going to be doing a pig processing class. We're going to take, the pig is going to be alive in the morning. We're going to show you every step of it, from taking it from being alive to taking it and frying sausage with it. So all the details should be up by today on the website. Go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com, and all that should be on there. You can register for the class and pay for all that. Get all the fine details. If you've got any questions, you can email one of us, and we'll answer your questions on it. But it's going to be a limited spot. We're only going to have 10 people at the class. So if you want to come to it, sign up. I've got probably 6 people that are already interested in coming. So seats will be limited. You'll have a good time. You're going to get hands-on experience. Leave with a little bit of pig. And also you're going to be getting a 6-inch boning knife from VacMaster free in the class too. So VacMaster has given us some knives for that. And we're going to pass those on to you and do that. But that's all that's been happening with me. We've just been doing crazy work stuff with the business. We're going to have more announcements for as far as KSL and stuff like that in the super near future, hopefully by the first of the year. So tell them about the 22nd too, Shelly.
So the 22nd, we're going to do a live show. It's going to be our Christmas show. And in the spirit of Christmas, we're going to do a giveaway. So this right here is a VacMaster knife roll. I think I almost turned that the wrong way. That would have been bad. So what comes with this? Check this out, guys. It has all of these knives, and then down here you've got, isn't that a honing stick or something like that? Is that what that's called?
It's a knife steel is what I always call it.
But you have all of these knives in here. There's different sizes. And they're all the VacMaster knives that we love and use all the time. Comes in this roll case. So we don't know what the rules are that we're going to, like how you can win this, but you definitely want to be watching the live so you can do the things and get in the drawing and possibly win this for Christmas.
It won't be to you by Christmas unless you live within 30 minutes of us.
Yep.
But yeah, VacMaster was kind enough to give us that knife roll. So we figured we would give it out to y'all, and then y'all can see how good the VacMaster knives are. Essentially, that knife roll has got everything you need except for a bone saw to process an animal.
Yep.
And the only other thing, the 2 things I would put in that knife roll, and of course, a bone saw won't fit in that knife roll, but the only other thing I would include in that is a meat cleaver.
Yeah.
And the only reason I like the meat cleaver is to separate the H-bone, the pelvis, to do that. I don't like sawing those. I like just taking the cleaver and hacking through it real quick. But other than that, it's a damn good knife roll. I like it. So I've got one myself, and I did a video on it. So if you want to go over there, go check out the video on it. And I go a little bit more in depth on those. So, but yeah, 22nd, we're going to be doing a live and giving the knife roll away. So hopefully we'll have like 8 million people in the live. So what news?
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd settle for 2 million, but what news have you got, Shelly?
So the news story that I have today, it's I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it pisses me off. Apparently there are, so when Trump was in office, he started building a border wall, right? And then when Biden took over, he stopped construction of the border wall. So there's all of this material sitting at the border that we as taxpayers, we have already purchased this, right? It's sitting on pallets and big stacks of pieces of border wall it's perfectly fine to use, but it's just sitting there and it's not made into a wall. So our current president decided that he was going to auction off the border wall, the big pieces that are sitting down there. So I want to say, let me see if I can find.
I saw some of the listings were starting at like $5.
Yeah, I was trying to. It's just like a section of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's starting. Like one section of it. The starting bid is $5.
Yeah.
And I heard about this on another news show that I listened to, and there were people in the comments that were saying, well, maybe we should buy it, bid on it and buy it and give it back to Trump so he can, continue making the wall. And I'm sitting there going, we already paid for this once.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our money that paid for this. It says that there was $154 million worth of roughly, wait a minute. How is this? Okay, no, it's $260 million worth of panels.
And it'll go for pennies it'll go for scrap prices is what it'll go for.
Right.
So.
Like, what is he thinking? What? I mean,
he wants money for ice cream.
I'm just like, dude. And they know that he's just going to pick up where he left off and start building the wall again. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah.
If it was his money that he spent on that, if he had paid for all of that stuff and he wanted to sell it for pennies on the dollar, fine, go ahead and do whatever you want. But that was our money.
Yeah.
That was our tax dollars that paid for that. And he's just thrown it away like he has the right to do that.
But honestly, I'd rather him do that than send any more money to Ukraine. But that's another deal that rabbit hole we could go down. But I don't know. Maybe somebody will get some good deals on it, some prepper guys, and they can use it for a fence around their place.
They're going to build a wall around their place.
I mean, it'd make a pretty sweet fence around the compound, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it'll probably all get bought and cut into pieces and scrapped out, I would say.
It just infuriates me.
It would be kind of cool just to buy one section of it and just stick it up on your property and be like, I got part of the border wall. Like they did, like when the Berlin Wall fell or whatever. People were buying chunks of it. And what's his name? Hasselhoff was up there singing and all this crap.
Yeah.
Is that guy still alive?
I think so.
Hell, I'll buy a piece of border wall and hire him to come sing, stand on top of it and sing something.
Jeez.
The places we go.
I know.
All right. Shelly, you wanted to talk about all these drones that are flying.
I wanted to talk about these drones. Like, they are lighting up New Jersey, and
it's an Iranian mothership out on the coast that are sending these drones in. So
this is what I don't understand. Okay, so if you don't know about the drones, you need to go find out about the drones. I think they said like the first sighting happened over Trump's. He has a resort in New Jersey. It's a place called Bedminster, I think is what it's called. And that was where they, like back in November, sometime in November was the first time that they saw one of these drones.
It's the 18th of November.
Yeah. So, and now they're just like all over the night sky. You can go on TikTok or whatever and see all kinds of videos of these things. And so I didn't know this. I mean, it makes sense, but helicopters and planes have to have blinking lights on them.
Yeah.
Like while they're flying. That's why when you see them in the sky at night, there's lights blinking on them. These drones, not all of them have lights. I mean, they have lights, but they're not blinking lights.
Yeah. And
then some of them are like as big as cars. Like no joke. They're 6 foot and up. The thing that I don't get is that, so there was some congressman that came out and said that he has it from a trusted source, that he's not going to give away, that what Jason said, there's an Iranian mothership that's deploying these off the coast of the United States. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, Iran is like barely a country still, like for real. Do they really have the technology? Like, do they have any technology that they would? I don't know that I believe that one, only because I don't know that they like have any kind of technology that they could make drones and do.
No, the Iranians have drone technology. They're pretty good at drones, from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah. So,
because like, do they make cars or ships or anything? I mean, do they have anything that, I can point to and be like, oh yeah, Iran made that. That's pretty good. Like it's not like a German made automobile, right?
They launch them off the camels' backs is what they do.
Gotcha.
So,
So that is one story that this congressman keeps saying that it's true, and his source is legit and all that kind of stuff. But so he came out giving all of that information, and then the Department of Defense, I guess, it was either the Department of Defense or the FBI.
The FBI is leading the investigation along with Homeland Security and then the New Jersey State Police and stuff like that. I know the FBI is, quote, leading the investigation.
Okay, so this is my thing, because whoever is leading the investigation, they are talking out of both sides of their mouth. Because when they first came out and said, when reporters were asking them questions, they were like, we don't know what it is. We have no idea. We do not know. We literally have no idea. And then that guy comes out and says it's an Iranian mothership and they're launching these drones and all that stuff. And so they come back and say, it's not that.
Yeah.
How the hell do you know it's not that if you have no idea what it is? So that tells me right there that you do know what it is, and you're just lying to us. Because if you're saying that that's not what it is, and then it's ridiculous.
Some of the stuff I got from it, of course, they, like you said too, they were flying over one of Trump's golf courses. Apparently there's a military base close to there that they were flying over, and then like key infrastructure places like electric transmission lines, rail stations, police departments and stuff. One of the weird things is some of them are flying in from the ocean. So that goes to tell me that if they're, and then the other thing is a lot of these people that are doing it, they don't typically look at the sky at night. So they can't tell the difference between an aircraft and a drone or something like that. So they might just be, oh my God, it's a drone and it's the freaking flight, the 747 that comes in from Europe every night and stuff like that. So there's some of that. They said they're having the frequency is 4 to 180 sightings per night is what they're saying. So, and
some of the people that are witnessing this are saying that they're like, they'll be going this way and then they turn out this, and it's not like, it's not like they're it's the way they're maneuvering. It's drone, they know, because like I get what you're saying, because I was thinking the same thing. I thought, well, are these people like actually seeing helicopters and they don't know that they're seeing helicopters or what? But the way that some of them are maneuvering, it's like it's a drone.
Oh yeah. And I mean what was it, where was that? So some of the stuff, the big thing is if they're coming in from the ocean, they've got to be coming off a ship. So there might be some area. It might not be Iranian, but the Iranians are in bed with the Russians. So, I mean, Russia might be playing around with some of that, but it might not be an Iranian thing. Hell, it might be our U.S. government doing some kind of new aircraft or something like that. If they said some of them are 6 foot across. I mean, you could have a single manned aircraft that small, like a helicopter kind of deal. Look, a drone that somebody could fit in. And if they're doing that, it could be a U.S. government ship that they're flying off of. And the government could be testing stuff and saying, hey, this is all a secret deal. But then the weird thing is, why would they do that with so many people around and not do it out at Area 51 where they keep the aliens and all the gold that's supposed to be in Fort Knox? So
because the people out in those areas would shoot that thing down.
Yeah. But it could be, if you think about this, maybe they already did all the pre-flights and all the testing out at Area 51 where nobody's around.
Maybe.
They've got it perfected where they know they won't crash it. So now they're doing it to see how noticeable and how much they can get away with where there's a big population.
So there was another one. Did you hear about the one that there was a drone flying over? It was the middle of the day and there was stuff coming out of it.
I didn't hear.
A liquid stuff coming out of it.
It might have just been a pilot pissing.
There was a video And this woman that was like doing the video, she kept saying, she was like, what, you could see something coming out of it. And she was like, what is that coming out of it? What is that, liquid or whatever? And then there's like all kinds of rumors going around about, like a biological warfare kind of thing.
It could be. I mean, they could spray something biological. They've already got ag drones that are spraying fields now. They've had those for a couple years. Have you seen those?
Nope.
They're a big enough drone, and instead of doing like the helicopter spraying and the crop dusting,
right?
They've got drones that will haul a big enough payload that they can go through and spray crops now.
Wow.
I don't know how many gallons these things hold, but yeah, I mean, you think about it.
Well, how big a drone does it take to do that?
It's a pretty good sized drone. So, I mean, they bring them in and land them, and then they fill them up from the tedder truck and fill them up with the chemicals, and then launch them off again and go spray these fields. I mean, playing the bad guy, heck, that's what I would do if I wanted to spray some kind of biological something. I'd fill a darn ag drone up and fly it over New Jersey and throw Pandemic 2.0 on everybody. So maybe it's the U.S. government doing some kind of stuff, and they're like, hey, and if you think about it, if they've done all this, and devil's advocate, if they've done all this stuff, and they're getting more and more people to be outside at night looking for these drones, and nothing's happening for a week or two or a month, all these people and all these kids are out there, Mom, give me your phone. I'm going to film this drone. And now they've got half the population out there looking. Then they turn the switch on and start spraying Pandemic 2.0 on everybody.
Please don't even say that.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're spraying monkeypox on people. Never thought about that, did you?
Is that the clip you're going to put at the beginning of the video?
It might be. It might have been monkey piss they were spraying out of it. Who knows?
Well, Trump came out and on Truth Social and posted, it says, mystery drone sightings all over the country. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know, and now otherwise shoot them down.
Oh, I think so too. And then, of course, somebody was saying if one of them crashes or somebody shoots it down, do not go investigate because we don't know what will be in there. If there's some hazardous chemicals or something like that in there. So,
why would they even say that? Like, that just tells you right there that they know what they're doing.
If I saw one crash, by George, I'd be running up to it and seeing what was going on with it. And if there's a little Iranian dude in there still alive, we're going to lead poison him real quick. So, yeah, I'm going to investigate.
So this is what I don't get. And this is, okay, we're going to have a role reversal thing because usually it's Jason that does all this, and I'm just going to jump feet first into the rabbit hole. We had this election, and I guess, do y'all feel like things are going back to normal?
No.
Do y'all feel like, really, you don't? Like, okay.
Status quo.
We had this election, and I expected people just to lose their ever-loving minds.
Yeah.
And you had a couple people on some different shows that did, but for the most part, people did not lose their minds. And a lot of people that you saw on TV that were like a week before, they were like, he's the biggest threat to democracy in our country and blah, blah, blah. And then he gets elected and they're just like, okay, all right, so he's our president now. And, you didn't have all the people running around going, I'm going to leave the country and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they were saying that before, but, lo and behold, they didn't leave, whatever.
Unfortunately.
But things have kind of, it's even... You don't even hear all the woke stuff anymore. All the, all of that crap going on. And I feel like, and it's just me, I feel like things are a little bit too calm. And maybe I'm just, I don't know. I'm not trying to look for something bad to happen. I'm just surprised that something bad hasn't happened, I guess. Does that make sense?
I'm surprised too. I'm still waiting to see some of these chicks that shave their head and saying they're not going to sleep with their boyfriends for 4 years.
Oh, I think they're regretting that move.
Yeah. I mean, but you got to be careful because it might be somebody that's going through cancer or something like that. And you don't.
Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of people. I think that's what shut that down. Yeah. Like that, you heard that for 2 or 3 days and then that got shut down really quick. And I think it was because there was like some legit people who were legit offended and should have been. Oh, and that got stopped.
They should have with a mohawk.
The whole drone thing, though, with all of these, it's probably nothing. And I'm sure that, there's all of these theories that are going around about it and everything, but there always seems to be a little bit of truth in everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's gonna wind up with that Chinese spy balloon. Those
exactly.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna forget about it. Nothing else going to be said about it, and they're just going to whitewash it and sweep it underneath the rug. Nobody will really know what had happened. I personally think
that thing flew clear across the country before they shot that thing down. Clear across the country.
Yeah, and you don't really hear anything. They'll think of something else. I mean, who knows what'll come of it? But it's going to wind up like that spy balloon. People are going to forget about it after the spy balloon collected all kinds of information on us from China, that kind of stuff. So that's essentially what's going to happen. But as far as the other shoe dropping, we're still, the 6th the next month is when everything gets certified. And then you've got the 20th the next month before inauguration. We're looking, what today's the 16th, 15th or 16th. We're looking at that. You've got quite a while. You've got over a month for them to really screw the hammer down on all this. And then, just little stuff like the border wall getting sold off. That stuff's sitting down there. So now they're going to sell it off. And then Trump's going to have to fight an uphill battle saying, hey, I want to build this border, but it's going to cost another $150 million. Some people are going to be like, hey, why are we going to spend that money again? So you're just going to have to work twice as hard. I still think they're going to try to kick World War III in as fast as they can with that. And then you've got, everything that's happening with Syria, al-Assad or whatever his name is. Nobody knows if he's dead or if he's in Russia or what, but there's a whole vacuum created there. And all the world powers have got their grubby hands in there playing around with it. Israel is taking over territory. I know the Americans bombed. The Americans and somebody else bombed a bunch of military depots with the ammunition depots and stuff because they didn't want all the new revolutionary people in control of all these weapons. So they are saying that they've got all kinds of surface-to-air missiles, like handheld surface-to-air missiles that they can use now. And you don't really know where these people are aligned with or who they're aligned with. So it's kind of like giving a bunch of 4-year-olds some AR-15s, and you don't know if they like you or not, kind of deal.
Right.
So there's a lot of crap going on. I wish we could go ahead and fast forward to the 20th and get this show on the road, kind of deal. But it's weird times. I think they've still got something up their sleeve. They could vote not to certify the election or, run some kind of ruse on that. There was something in there.
I don't think they'd get away with that. They could try, but I don't think that they'd get away with it. He even won the popular vote. Like, how would they get away with that?
They've done some. He won the election last time, so apparently, now this is on InfoWars, the Gay Frog website. So take it as it is. There's a news article that says the UFO invasion may be used to trigger NORCOM's continuity of government, national emergency powers to stop Trump. So they might pull some kind of crap like that, pull some kind of national emergency and be like, oh, we're in a national emergency. We can't change over power. And then they might be able to use World War III if they kick that thing off to be like, hey, we can't let you come in. There's all kinds of
that has never. Now there have been instances in history that we have been at war, but we've always still held our elections and installed the president who won. That's never happened in the history of our country. Because I looked that up because I was worried about that too.
Yeah.
I was like, are they going to try to say that, because we're in the middle of World War III or something, that they don't have to like turn everything over to Trump? That's never, it would be unprecedented is what I'm saying, I guess.
And there hasn't been unprecedented stuff happen the last 4 years either.
No, you're right. But I just,
they're playing by different.
Feel like that the American people would allow that to happen.
They let it happen 4 years ago, the crap that went on.
Yeah, but we learned some things, don't you think?
That most of the American people are a bunch of sissies and they want to go on and watch Netflix and chill.
Yeah, but most of the American people voted for him. They went out and spoke and said what they wanted. I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic here about the American people. We're not a bunch of idiots.
Well, there's like 80 million people that were.
I don't think that was true. But that's just me.
Well,
there might have been 80 million dead people or whatever, but I don't believe that was true at all.
All right, there's several million stupid people in the United States.
I don't disagree. I don't. But, we lived through the vid and learned from that. I mean, I kind of feel like if there's some kind of plandemic that happens again, it's going to have to be one that does some serious damage. It's not going to be one that's just a common cold.
Oh yeah.
And I know there's probably people who are going to be like, that's not what it was. I get it, but it's going to have to be something that does some damage before you're going to get the American population to put masks back on and to distance and shut down and all that stuff like they did last time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've said it before, that was just a trial run to get everybody scared for it. And then it's like the boy that cried wolf. They cried wolf on that. Now people are going to be like, oh, we're not falling for this. And then when you get something that knocks out 30% of the population, I mean, you get a 3% death rate. Lord, there's 330 million people, something like that in the United States. So 30% of that, you're looking at 33. You're looking at 100 million people.
Yeah.
That's a major catastrophe. If it's something like that, we're just closing the gate and smoking cigars on the front porch. And nobody's coming over.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be eating sheep all day. So that and not doing much else.
Let me get my ram over here so I can make more sheep.
Yeah. So that's about all I've got on spy balloon. We'll call it Spy Balloon 2.0 is what we can call it. So I don't know. I do know that
I thought we could name this like Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah. Like deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
now that we've totally depressed you and bummed you out.
Yeah. We're going to have to think of something fun next time.
Right? It's going to be our Christmas episode.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean, I get down the rabbit holes, and now I'll say this, and some people are going to think I'm stupid. I'm leaning towards like the flat earth model. Like, I think the earth is flat. I'm really leaning that way. So anyway, my youngest one comes in and he's asking a question, and my wife's like, your dad will answer that. And I'm like, what? And he goes, does the moon light up, or is it just the sun reflecting off the moon? And I'm like, it's just the sun reflecting off the moon. He goes, so like when it sets, and I'm like, technically the sun really doesn't set. It just goes around. And he's like, what? And I was like, the earth's flat. And he looks at me, he's like, Dad, you're stupid. And I was like, no,
Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you.
And I said, no. I said, I'm not stupid. I said, I've just educated myself. They're educating you wrong. And Whitney's giving me this look. She was like, just stop talking to the kids. Okay. So, but I try to interject myself in all this stuff. And I'm just like, I'm going to have to teach him right one of these days. And I was not, they did a thing on, they were talking about the election before it happened. And he asked me a question and I told him like the straight out truth answer. And she's like, don't say that. And I'm like, why? I was like, that's the truth. And so I was not allowed to do any of his election project with him. So yeah.
Yeah, Lincoln be going to school dropping some hard truths, right?
Oh, yeah. And she was like, you can't do that. And I was like, yes, I can. I was like, it's the truth. And she's like, but you can't just go around spewing that. I'm like, watch me. So yeah, Spy Balloon 2.0 has been electrified with lights this time, I guess. So that's all I've got, guys. I hope to see y'all on the 22nd for our live. I will not be dressed in Christmas stuff because I'm a Grinch. I believe in Christmas, but I don't dress up for it.
I totally think you should dress up.
I'm not. I don't have any like everybody has Christmas sweaters and all this kind of crap, like ugly Christmas sweaters and all this. I'm like, I'm not a sweater guy, so I don't.
Hey, I've got some antlers. When you come over to work on the basement, I'll give them to you and you can wear them.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they're actually. I thought I had them laying in here.
Well, you wore them last.
Actually, like furry ones. They look like ones that like new antlers.
Somebody asked us if they could borrow some lambs from the nativity scene. And I was like, no. And then somebody's like, can we borrow your donkey? And I'm like, no, we're not doing this crap. That's like, that's like a hard no. So, but I will tell you this. One of the top videos that my wife has put on TikTok was Caroline. She had on a set of antlers, like reindeer antlers, and like a light up, those big redneck Christmas lights, one of those around her neck. And she was like trotting through the yard. She's like, I got all kinds of views on TikTok. And I'm like, people must be hard up watching stuff then.
Caroline's cute.
Yeah. You don't have to put up with her every day. So, all right. That's about all I've got. I hope to see y'all on the 22nd. And hopefully we'll see you again before then too. So,
yeah, I hope so.
Shelly, you got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right, go check out the pig processing class. Limited seats on that. We're going to have probably cap it at 10 people where everybody can cut some pig and get some hands-on stuff. But we will see y'all later on in the week. Thanks a bunch.
Bye.